Hi, everybody. My name is Ella Brown, and today I will be walking you through how to apply to college. So, first thing you need to do is you need to research which college you want to apply to. Some factors that are going to help you with that is size, so how big the school is, distance it is from your house. Some people like to be closer to home. Some people really want to get out of Rhode Island. You can also look at their sports, whether they're in the Big 12 or the SEC. You need to make sure that they have the major or the minor that you're planning on studying, obviously. And then selectivity, that's about how much or the percentage of students that they allow in that of their applicants. So if you are a super intelligent kid and you've got a 36 ACT and a 5.0 GPA, then maybe you should be applying to colleges with really small percentages of selectivity. But if you are a more average student, let's say you have a 2.5 GPA and maybe a 24, 23 on your ACT, then maybe you should be looking at schools that have a higher percentage of selection. And then finally, you need to be looking at whether they're a private university or a public university. So next up, you need to make your Common Application account, or you need to apply directly. So the Common App is a website that allows you to apply to multiple colleges all at the same time. So instead of having to go through maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 different applications, you can do it in just one. However, there are some schools that will not use the Common App, and you will have to apply to those directly. Also, if you are just going to be applying to 2 different colleges, the Common App is quite extensive and lengthy, so maybe you should just apply to those colleges directly because it might be quicker for you. And if you are applying directly, there's a QR code that is in the counselor's office, and you can use that to request that your transcript be sent to these colleges. All right, next up, you need to fill out the Common App or your actual application directly. So there's going to be a lot of really mundane information that you have to include in there. So that would be things like your social security number, your address, phone number, parents' information. That takes a while to fill out, and it can be really boring. But once you get through that, then you get kind of the exciting part, which is the essay. So in the essay, there's going to be multiple different topics that you can choose from. The essay is really cool because it allows you to become like a unique student or an actual person in their eyes rather than just numbers, just your GPA and your ACT score or your SAT score. So the essay is a really great way for you to stand out and become more of a unique applicant rather than, one of the 4,000 students that's applying with the 27 ACT. So if you do not choose to do the essay, that's totally fine. Some schools will not require you to do it. But if you are doing the essay, I would suggest that you look at all of the topics that they have provided, and then I would brainstorm for maybe 10 minutes under each of the topics and decide kind of which one you do best, like which topic is going to help you stand out the most. So after you've done that, I would have maybe a teacher or a peer edit your finished essay, because sometimes things sound way better to us than they do to other people. So make sure you get that edited, make sure all of your grammar is correct. And then after that, you'll go to recommendation letters. So you'll need to ask your teachers and your counselors and maybe a sponsor or a coach, but you'll need to give them 2 weeks to fill out the recommendation letter. So if you have a due date for one of your applications that's November 1st, then you'll need to give them the recommendation letter prompt basically like now. That way they have 2 weeks themselves to fill it out, and then you have some extra time. That way you can kind of go through and make sure that you have that submitted and kind of wrap up the whole application. Next up, we have test scores. So some schools will let you self-report your test scores, which means that you can kind of just type them in yourself and they'll believe you. But others will require you to actually send it from the ACT or the SAT website. So to do that, you'll need to find the college code on the college's website. It'll be like a 4-digit number code, and then you'll take that to the ACT website or SAT website, plug that in, and then you'll have your scores sent to them. So after you send your scores, you'll also need to do Fafsa, which is the financial aid application, basically. So if your family makes $1 million a year, or if your family makes $35,000 a year, you need to do the Fafsa, because there is a chance that you might get some money. So you just need to make sure that you're doing it. This is something that your parents most likely will have to help you with, because it requires tax returns and all kinds of other stuff that we don't know anything about. So get with your parents, fill out the FAFSA. It just came out on October 1st. So do that as soon as possible. That way you can get it done and out of the way. After you've done your FAFSA, then you'll need to pay your application fees. So in order to apply to a college, it costs money, unfortunately. So That can range from like $30 to maybe $75, depending on where you're applying to. So you'll need to make sure that you pay that. If you are in a lower income family, then there are chances for you to not have to pay the application fee. So I would look into that and maybe check out if there's any scholarships that you can get to not pay that application fee. And then finally, after you've turned in your entire Common App, or you're applying directly, you've turned that in, you may need to apply for scholarships and the Honors College separately. So you have to look on the website and they'll tell you. And then once you figure that out, then you'll do that scholarship application or the Honors College application separately. So if you have any questions, you can, of course, go to the counselor's office, or you can talk to me. So that's all I have for today, guys. Thanks for listening.